Hi everybody, this is Gijs again with another review and I hope you are doing well. Now that's been a long time since I've said that sentence, but more on that later. Now the review of this time, it is a thermos bottle. It is the Laken TE7 Thermos Bottle Classic. So if you want to know if this thermos bottle keeps your cool drinks cool during summertime, or your warm drinks warm during wintertime or autumn like it is now, then you should definitely watch this video. Enjoy! And welcome back to the review of the Laken TE7 thermos bottle. Now, before I start with the review itself, first I would like to make a little bit of an announcement. Maybe you've seen it if you follow me already for a while. I've not been doing videos for basically the last half year. And that has got a lot to do with my voice, because it was basically gone. Now, thanks to a very good speech therapist and a new, basically, vocal cord doctor, I'm getting back in business again, and I really love this because I love making videos. For those of you who are following me already for a while, this is not a new story, but I would really like to thank you a lot for all your support and all your very sweet comments. Thanks, thanks, thanks again. Now, for those of you who just tuned into my YouTube channel for the very first time, it might be polite to introduce myself. My name is Gijs Loning, and Gijs is really a very typical Dutch name, and Gijs is very difficult to say for English people, so give it a try. Gijs, it's like this. Quite easy, and I live in the totally flat Netherlands. I do my work totally independent, so that means that manufacturers are not paying me for my reviews. So if you like what I do at the end of this video, then please give the video a like and consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, because well, subscribing and likes, it really helps me maintaining my YouTube channel. Now, and if you really like what I do, then maybe you can support me on my Ko-fi account, make a very small donation so I can buy more stuff to review basically, and not be totally depending on asking people if they want to send something to me. And when they send something to me, of course, I send it back after reviewing. Now, it's not the case with this Laken TE7 thermos bottle, because actually I bought this one about 7 years ago at an outdoor store in Amsterdam. And I really remember this moment because I was up for a job outdoors in Amsterdam to do some sort of review for an outdoor magazine that I used to work for. And it was a really chilly, cold day, a bit like it is today. So I went to this outdoor store, which is Karel Denich, and Karel Denich is founded in 1912, and that means it is the oldest outdoor store in the Netherlands, and it is still in existence. Now, I bought this one in that store. I filled it there also with hot coffee. Thanks, guys. Maybe a bit late, but still, very thanks. And it has gone with me on a lot of different trips. Now, what I should explain, that in the period that I own this bottle, a lot of other brands came onto the market. Big companies, big brands, big names. And also, why are they so big? Because they've got a lot of marketing budget. They are very clever in this, and this is why we all know these brands. Laken, big chance you never heard of it. Well, to be honest, in all those years, I've never seen any advertisements from them. So it is a very small company. It is still family owned. It's a factory. They do single-wall aluminium bottles from the old days. And the funny thing is that also Laken was founded as a company, as a manufacturing company in 1912. Well, isn't that a coincidence with the shop where I bought it? Both 1912. More than 109 years old, almost. I'm not that good in maths. This one, it's one of a series of 4. They've got a small one and a bigger one, and basically one that's a little bit in between. This one, it is the 0.75 liter or 750 milliliters, or in US 25 Oz. It has a pack size of 73 millimeters in diameter, and it has a height of 28 centimeters. The weight of the Laken TE7 is 398 grams. Now let's get back to the bottle. Of course, it is a thermos bottle. It is made out of food grade stainless steel, which is literally 18/8 stainless steel. And because it's made out of stainless steel, food grade stainless steel, it does not need to have a coating on the inside to prevent basically the growth of algae or odors getting into the water, odors sticking into the bottle. That's, I think, an absolute positive thing. And it's a little bit different with a lot of aluminium bottles because they need a coating on the inside, because otherwise you get very funny tasting water, or there is going to be interaction between the water and the material itself. Now, that's not the case with stainless steel. The bottles themselves, the thermos bottles, the steel part, it comes from China. Is that a bad thing? No, of course not, because most manufacturers, they buy their bottles in China because that's the place where the manufacturing or the factories are for those double-walled stainless steel bottles, and they're quite a hassle to manufacture. So that's the reason why it is there. But at Laken in Spain, it's a Spanish company, they do the powder coating on the outside themselves, and the good thing about the powder coating is that it is also done with very sustainable and non-polluting materials, which of course is a good thing. The cap, it is also made in Spain, and the whole bottle is BPE free, which is not a really big thing in Europe, I think, but in the US a lot of people are talking about BPE free, which is of course a very good thing. So know that this bottle is BPE free. Now let's go back to daily practice. What I do like about the bottle is that it has got a very big, basically a cap, and it's very good to get hold on to, because in this way it's very good to grab and it opens very, very easily. What I also do like is that the opening, and let me pour myself a little bit more of hot tea, because that's what the thermos bottle is of course for, is that the opening, this one is 54 millimeters wide. And some brands advertise this as a wide mouth thermos bottle, so that you can also put food in it. The thing is, they've always done this wide opening, and the reason for this is that you can put ice cubes in there, because of course Spain, it is quite a warm country within Europe, and they want to keep their cool drinks cool, so you can put ice cubes in there and then your fresh, your cool beverage, and it will stay cool. The good thing also, because of this wide opening, is that cleaning is very, very, very easy, and even if you want to put some warm spaghetti in it, it will work. So that's a good thing. What I also like is that basically the cap, it's very easy to screw onto the bottle. And now one very little trick basically about the cap, because if you've seen the review that I did on the Clean Canteen big food container, and I'll put the link up here so you can see that review as well after you've seen this one, and I'll put it in the description below too, is that sometimes when you've got a warm liquid in there and it cools down, that on basically the surface between the water level and the lid itself, or the cap, there is a vacuum being created just because of the cooling of the water, because that shrinks a little bit. You know, warm water is a little bit bigger. Now, in this case, with the Hydro Flask or the Clean Canteen, I don't know which one it was actually, I sometimes had the problem that I could not get the cap off very easily. Now, with this one, I've never had that problem, except for once, and then you just take a stick and you pry the stick between here, and you got way more leverage, which I think is absolutely good. What is also good, of course, because of this construction with this, basically this hooky or this opening, is that you can put a carabiner onto it, or you can put a little rope on it to secure this one to basically the pocket on the side of your backpack so that it doesn't fall out. Now, there's one thing that I should say about this cap, that if you lose it, well, not really any harm is done, because for €5 you can buy a spare cap if you lose it. Now, Laken does this cap just because to keep basically the liquid inside the bottle. There is also a other cap available, which is called the Yanu, and the Yanu has got basically a flickable drinking nozzle, and a lot of people who just use this kind of thermos bottles for their daily work routine or sport routine, of course a nozzle can be very convenient, so this is something that you might want to know. With this cap, you can put boiling water in it. With the Yanu cap, with the flipping nozzle, that's not possible. You can only go up to maximum 50 degrees. And now I'm talking about 50 degrees and isolation. Of course, key importance of any thermos bottle is, of course, how well does it isolate? Well, of course, I've asked the manufacturer and they promise that it will isolate warm drinks for about 8 hours and cool drinks for about 24 hours. Now, there is of course a big gap between what is warm in my opinion and what is cold in my opinion and what might be the testing circumstances of the factory. I talked to them and they gave me some numbers, but I'm not allowed to publish them. But they are basically the same numbers that I get when I did my testing. Now, this testing, of course, I've done this at home in a sort of controlled environment. And this controlled environment was basically my kitchen. What did I do? First, I called the Dutch distributor of Laken and asked for a second bottle. And that is this one. And since I'm Dutch, I love the orange one, and it's also in my Outdoor Guru logo, the orange. So this is going to be the new bottle in my side pocket of my backpack for the coming years probably. Because I wanted to do a lot of testing on this, and if I have 2 bottles, it will speed up things a little bit. Now, what did I do? I used the bottles and filled them with hot water. And hot water, I measured it when it went in, it was 96.4 degrees. And I'll put the Fahrenheit somewhere in the screen as well. Now, then I measured the time in basically my kitchen, which is 18 degrees at a very constant temperature. And I put the other one inside my fridge, where it is 5 degrees Celsius. And I left them there for 12 hours, and every hour I measured the temperature drop basically. The results of my testing were, in my opinion, quite astonishing, because the red bottle that was just sitting in my kitchen at a comfortable 18 degrees went in 12 hours time from 96.4 degrees to 48.3 degrees. Now, the one that was sitting in my fridge, and that was the orange one, went in the same 12 hours from 96.4 degrees to 42.8 degrees. So the difference between outside temperature 18 degrees or 5 degrees is basically in temperature difference in the end result only 5 degrees, which I think means that this bottle isolates very well. Now, this was over a time period of 12 hours. I never ever make this, because when I put warm water in my bottle, basically in the morning when I go out for a hike or when I had lunch and I make some extra water with my Jetboil, then the warm water finishes basically in the next 4 hours. And if you want to know how warm it is after 4 hours, well, I can tell you, because of course I've written all the data in my little book. And after 4 hours, I measured a temperature inside or outside the fridge of about 70 degrees. So if you drink your beverage within those basically first 4 hours, you should be a little bit careful if you drink it directly from the bottle. So now you know that the Laken bottle will keep warm drinks warm for a very, very long time. But now, does it keep cool things cool also? Well, that's a little bit harder to test in the Netherlands in autumn, because outside it is between 5 and 10 degrees. Not the sunny conditions that maybe people in Spain are experiencing at this moment. So I had to find a different way of testing. Now, at home I have got a Au Bain Marie boiler, and it's basically a sort of soup kettle with a second kettle in there. You put warm water in it, and that means that the soup inside basically this second pot will remain at a certain temperature. You will see it at a lot of gas stations, hotels, restaurants, and I use it for a lot of different types, also for testing the breathability of breathable waterproof clothing, for example. Now, what I did is I put the water in there and I got a constant temperature of 60 degrees. Then I filled the orange bottle with ice cubes and iced water. And the temperature of the bottle when it went into this hot water of 60 degrees, it was 4.5 degrees inside. Now, I measured every hour during a period of 8 hours the temperature rise, of course, and after 8 hours I measured a temperature inside the bottle of 12.1 degrees. This sounds like a lot, but I think that if you take in account that I put this one in 60 degrees boiling water, which is not very realistic outdoors, I think that the cooling capacities, the cooling capabilities of the Laken thermos bottle are excellent as well. So it keeps cool drinks cool and hot drinks hot. Now, when I review products, I always take the sustainability side into account. And let me get a little sip because it is getting quite chilly. And this is good for my voice, says my speech therapist. I always take the sustainability side into account. And on Laken I already said that the powder coating, it is a sustainable one. I said that basically the bottles, the stainless steel food grade bottles, they come from China, so they take a long time to travel before they get to Europe or to the US, which is maybe a bad thing, but it is what it is at the moment. The caps there are made in Spain. I already said they sell replacement caps, which is of course good if you lose one. It makes it more sustainable as well. And that there is not a coating on the inside and that the whole bottle is BPE free. What I also do like is that Laken is a member of the EOCA, the European Outdoor Association, the European Outdoor Conservation Association. And the latest news is that Laken is going to build a new factory in Spain to produce more of their products basically in Spain. They already produce quite a number of aluminium stuff, pots and canteens in Spain. But who knows, maybe they are going to produce a thermos bottle in Spain in the years to come. So maybe that's very hopeful for the sustainability and for cutting basically transport lines. Now, that was a lot of information on a thermos bottle. Now let's head on to my verdict. How do I rate the Laken TE7 Thermos Bottle Classic? Well, in the first place, there is not much bad things that I can say about it because I really like this bottle. It's been with me for so long already that maybe it's grown on to me. And what I do like, of course, is the fact that it keeps cool drinks cool, but especially in the Netherlands, it keeps warm drinks warm. I do like the cap, that it is very good to hold on, that the triangle is very useful if you want to use a little bit more force or put a stick between it if you can't open it because your hands are maybe cold or not that strong. I like the 54mm opening because you can clean the bottle very easily, and yes, if you live in a warm country you can put ice cubes in there. Now that said, yes, I like this bottle a lot, and especially if you take the price into account, because in Europe it retails for €21.80. It should cost in the US about $27.5, and in pounds it's going to retail for £26.99. So taking the price into account, I really think that is a very nice price to pay for a thermos bottle with these features, and therefore I rate the Laken TE7 Thermos Bottle Classic at 9.3 points out of 10 total. Now, this was the review in a long time and I think it went quite well, and I hope with my voice it will only get better in the coming months. So if you like this review, then please give the video a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel because it really helps me in making more videos. If you really like what I do, visit my Ko-fi account and maybe follow me on Instagram, and also visit my website because sometimes I forget things in these videos that I did put in writing onto the website. So if you want to read it again, then please do that as well. Now, for now I say goodbye, arrivederci, auf Wiedersehen, and I hope to see you soon again. Enjoy the outdoors and stay safe. Ciao, ciao! It's a wrap. Oh, midgets. Oh.